Welcome back to today's episode. We've got a fascinating topic lined up: ants that form living bridges and rafts. At first glance, ants might seem like just tiny insects marching in neat little lines, carrying crumbs or leaves. But today, you'll discover that some ants are much more than just organized workers. They are living engineers. And don't go anywhere, because at the end of this episode, we'll test what you learned with a fun trivia game. Our topic for today is ants that form living bridges and rafts. When most people imagine ants, they picture those long trails weaving across sidewalks or gardens, each ant carrying food back to the colony. But in certain species, ants take teamwork to a whole new level. Instead of relying on tools, wood or leaves to build structures, they use their very own bodies. That's right, some ants become the bridges and rafts that help their colonies survive. These behaviors are some of the most jaw-dropping examples of cooperation in the animal kingdom. Let's start with army ants. These ants are fierce predators and are constantly on the move. Unlike many other species, they don't build permanent nests. Instead, their colonies march across the forest floor, searching for prey and food. Because they're always moving, they often face obstacles, gaps in the ground, rivers, or spaces between branches. Now here's the incredible part. Instead of being stopped by these obstacles, army ants simply link their bodies together. One ant grabs onto another, and then another latches on, until a chain forms. Soon enough, they create a sturdy bridge made entirely of their own bodies. Other ants in the colony then walk across this bridge as if it were a natural extension of the forest. Now let's turn to a different kind of marvel, the red imported fire ant. Unlike army ants, fire ants don't roam endlessly, but they live in areas that are often flooded, like riverbanks or low-lying fields. When heavy rains or floods strike, you might think such tiny creatures would drown. But fire ants don't panic, they raft. When floodwaters rise, thousands of fire ants cling to one another, forming a living raft. Imagine a tightly woven mat, except instead of straw or wood, it's made of ants locking legs and jaws together. At the center of this raft sits the most precious cargo, the queen and the larvae. Worker ants take their places around the edges, bracing against the water. The outer ants sometimes even rotate positions, ensuring the raft can survive for days or even weeks while drifting across floodwaters. What makes this even more amazing is that the ants' exoskeletons repel water, making the entire raft buoyant. In other words, the ants don't just survive, they float. These rafts can travel for long distances until the colony finds safe, dry land to rebuild their home. Here's the key point. Neither the living bridge nor the living raft is directed by a leader. There's no boss ant giving out instructions. Instead, each ant follows a set of very simple rules. Cling when you feel others tugging. Shift when there's weight. Release when it's time to move on. Out of these tiny actions emerges something spectacular. A bridge strong enough for thousands of ants to cross, or a raft resilient enough to survive weeks of flooding. This phenomenon is called emergent behavior. It shows us how simple individual actions, when multiplied across thousands of individuals, can create incredibly complex and life-saving structures. What can we, as humans, learn from ants? For one, survival often depends on cooperation. Army ants survive the challenges of the jungle by linking together, while fire ants endure floods by rafting as one. Alone, a single ant is vulnerable, but together they become a force capable of engineering solutions to problems that would otherwise mean disaster. It's a reminder that even the smallest creatures can show us the value of teamwork, adaptability, and persistence. Now, it's time to see how much you've learned from today's episode. We've got 3 fun trivia questions coming up. Ready? Let's start. Question 1. Which type of ant is known for building living bridges? A. Fire ants. B. Leafcutter ants. C. Army ants. D. Weaver ants. Correct answer, C. Army ants. Army ants, Echeton burchelli, are famous for forming living bridges. They use their bodies to connect gaps, allowing the colony to continue moving smoothly. Fire ants form rafts, not bridges. Leafcutter ants are known for farming fungus, and weaver ants build nests by weaving leaves together. This shows how different ant species evolve unique survival strategies. Question 2. Why do fire ants build living rafts? A. To catch fish for food. B. To avoid predators. C. To survive floods. D. To cross rivers faster. Answer, C. To survive floods. Fire ants, Solenopsis invicta, raft together when water levels rise. Their waterproof bodies and ability to cling tightly make them buoyant enough to float for days. This adaptation protects their queen and larvae until they reach dry land. They don't raft to hunt or escape predators. It's purely a survival mechanism against floods. Question 3. What's remarkable about the way these ant structures are created? A. A queen ant directs every movement. B. Ants follow simple instincts that lead to complex teamwork. C. Only the strongest ants are allowed to join. D. They build bridges and rafts using leaves, not their bodies. Correct answer, B. Ants follow simple instincts that lead to complex teamwork. There is no central architect ant giving instructions. Each ant follows simple rules. Cling when pulled, move when pushed, adjust when needed. From these actions comes something far greater than the sum of its parts. Bridges and rafts that rival human engineering. This is emergent behavior, and it's why scientists look to ants as models for innovation in robotics and artificial intelligence. And that wraps up today's exploration into the world of ants that form living bridges and rafts. Tiny creatures, massive teamwork, and survival strategies that put If you enjoyed this video, please check out our other bingeable channels.
Thank you for watching. If you have suggestions for our next video, feel free to share them in the comments below. We'll be sure to give you an acknowledgement for your contribution.